Today on CityLine, building careers through education, connecting youth with training and meaningful opportunities in our area. Good morning to you, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jessica Brown. Temperatures are climbing, the school year is ending, and summer beach days are almost here. And while swim safety is important, every summer, research shows that not every child has the same chance to learn, and the consequences are serious. The CDC reports Black Americans under age 30 drown at rates 1.5 times higher than white peers the same ages. Researchers point to years of pool closures, limited swim access, and transportation barriers in underserved communities, gaps that are still playing out right now. The Massachusetts Department of Conservation and Recreation is directly addressing this, making swim safety a priority. And joining me now is Shawn DeRosa, DCR's Director of Pool and Waterfront Safety, and lifeguard Elmani Debarros. Thank you both so much for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really important to talk about this. It's perfect timing. But when we talk about swim inequities, what does that actually look like here in Massachusetts, Shawn?
It's a great question. You know, in Massachusetts, we have a very diverse community, and it's important as DCR that we provide access to safe swimming opportunities for everyone. And we realize that there are some longstanding barriers for different communities in our environmental justice areas to have safe access to swimming. So that's one of DCR's primary purposes in the summer, because who doesn't like to go to the pool or the beach in the summer?
Absolutely. And Shawn, how is DCR targeting that? How are you making access available to more folks?
So one of the things that DCR has been doing is sponsoring a lifeguarding program where we offer free training for people that are 16 years of age or older that would like to become a lifeguard. And it's really important that we find lifeguards within the communities that we serve. So we've been partnering with Boys and Girls Clubs, YMCAs, to offer free lifeguard training services in preparation for the upcoming months. But part of becoming a lifeguard is learning to swim as well.
Right.
So for DCR pools, we do offer at a large number of our pools free swimming lessons for the community. Now, swimming lessons, the demand is so high that people sign up early and it fills up very, very quickly. But that is an important step for every parent to take at some point in their child's life to really get them to learn the importance of swimming.
And Elmani, you know, you're a lifeguard.
Yeah.
How did DCR help you get into that lifeguard chair?
So basically, I just sent them an email, and they were really quick to like respond to me and stuff, and they really got me like on board. They sent me everything I needed to do to become a DCR lifeguard, and that was just really it. It was just really quick. The process was smooth, and yeah, that's it really.
What's it like being a lifeguard? I think a lot of folks have misconceptions of what it is that you do, what you see every day when you're doing the job.
Yeah, being a lifeguard is great. Like I get to talk to people every day. Like it helps me work on my communication skills.
All right.
And like I get to meet new people every day from my community. Like I'm Cape Verdean. My parents are from Cape Verde. They came here when they were like 20 years old, and it's good seeing like Cape Verdeans on the beach because there's not that many Cape Verdean like lifeguards. So like if they ever need help or anything, I can talk to them in Creole and stuff and like help them, show them around, and give them things to do like around the area and stuff.
Which is super important.
Yeah.
You know, lifeguard recruitment, I know, is in full gear. You were talking about. I know it's a difficult task every year, especially in underserved communities. So Shawn, how are you addressing the shortage and getting more young folks involved, getting them to be lifeguards?
So one of the things that we've been very intentional about is creating advertising opportunities, marketing materials in multiple languages. So we have language signage available in 9 different languages. We reach out to the YMCAs, the Boys and Girls Clubs, cities, to our government officials as well. We really need everyone spreading the word. But what we find is most successful is word of mouth. When a grandparent or a parent tells, you know, their 16-year-old child, hey, this is a great opportunity for you. And I think it's important in communities that have been underrepresented in the swimming space that we're very intentional about prioritizing those swim programs and finding lifeguards in those communities.
And Shawn, as you mentioned, you know, every lifeguard learned to swim. That's why DCR sees lessons as a big launch pad here. You know, transportation barriers also an issue. Are you going into communities communities. Talk a little bit more about the outreach and what's been the response.
So that's a great question. For the past 4 years, DCR has been offering about $350,000 via grant money, essentially, to YMCA's, Boys and Girls Clubs, people that are teaching swimming lessons to be able to offer free swimming lessons across the Commonwealth. And in some communities, that resulted in second grade students getting bused to a pool for lessons. So that sort of outreach,
important.
right?
Yeah.
It's so behind the scenes, but if we don't lay the swimming foundation early, we won't be able to address the drowning impact down the road and hopefully recruit someone to be a lifeguard.
Absolutely. And Elmani, talk about for you, how did swim lessons or lifeguarding, kind of get to where you are now and that experience for you?
So I started swimming on a swim team at the Roxbury Boys and Girls Club. And from there on, I swam for like 13 years there, swimming competitively. And then I was like, damn, I want to become a lifeguard like one day because, the pay is really good, especially at DCR. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I just was like, I want to be a lifeguard. And I just became a lifeguard.
Just like that?
Yeah.
And you said it was an easy process, right?
Yeah, it's very easy.
How are you, you learn about it, you don't really, you figure out, okay, the pay is good, I can do this. Do you spread the word now? Or
I'm always spreading the word. My sister just got her lifeguard certification. I'm gonna try to get her to work at one of the DCR beaches hopefully soon. Because she's 15, so you have to be 16, but next year she'll be there.
Excellent, excellent. When people learn to swim and go on to be lifeguards, they're not only serving the community, they're bringing home a paycheck, a good one, Elmani says. How can these opportunities kind of jumpstart careers?
I mean, being like on a beach, it's like, I see people every day. I get to see like different types of people every day, and it really helps me work on my like communication skills. Yeah. And like I can network on the beach. Like I've met like firefighters, and I've met people who I never would have thought I met before. Like, and I run a photography business, and I met a photographer on the beach. Like I met a bunch of people.
So it's really made you think about career paths down the road too. So it's kind of been supportive in your long-term journey. Yeah. And that's kind of the goal here, right, Shawn?
Correct. We do a lot in terms of development, and one of the focuses within the first responder world for lifeguards is what happens after their lifeguard time ends, right? Yeah. So learning those skills that transcend occupational boundaries, whether it's teamwork, customer service, it really preps people for whatever career they want to go into. And we've had many success stories. We have one former pool manager that's now in med school because of her experiences as well. So there are opportunities for everyone. And to your point, it's giving back to the community as well. And we want to stay grounded and focused in that aspect as well.
I love that. For folks who are watching and maybe their kids are looking to get some swim lessons, where can they go? Where would you say is a good place to start?
So if they're looking for swim lessons, mass.gov Learn to Swim, that's learn-to-swim, is a great start. And if they're looking to become a lifeguard, just as easy, mass.gov/lifeguards.
And I have to mention, it's fun. You get to be on the beach, you're swimming. Talk to that point real quick, because I think, it's kind of a prime opportunity when you're young to go out there and do that.
So I get to tan like every day almost. So like, I know a lot of people find that important. And like, if I ever get hot, I get to go out on the board and cool off a little bit, because we have normally 2 people on a chair, but I don't know how it'll work this year. But so it's really nice just to be outside like every day and like meet new people and stuff. So it's
important what you're doing, Elmani. Thank you so much, and thank you, Shawn, as well, for all that you're doing to help
Thanks
people.
for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, connecting kids and classrooms across our area, how Metco has shaped generations of students by integrating schools.